Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Neanderthal in Overalls and we are going to go over block detection. We'll start with this one first. So here I have what we call a constant. This command block is constantly checking this area of blocks above this green wall to see if they match, and then if they do match you will get your output. There's one way. And then if you're only targeting one area, one block, one specific block, which in this case is sand, it'll give it an output. And as you can tell, this one does not need a constant. We'll go over here. This is where the puzzle is set up. As you can see the green wall, that's where I want the sand pieces to go, so that's the areas we'll be targeting. And then we have these little obstacles here to where if the sand falls in there, it's going to require the player to do a reset, which we'll have here, and we will go over reset. So no more yapping, and we'll get right into it. I like to have the constant nearby so it's a little bit easier to deal with. Right below it, let's get right to it. We are going to do slash execute, and only if the blocks, like I said, we're dealing with more than one block, so it's going to be blocks, and we're going to have 3 sets of 3 tildes, kind of like a clone command, and then all. So there we have it. We have a test for blocks, but we aren't quite finished yet. We want to do repeat, always active, and then I'm going to go ahead and complete it, and then when I find out my coordinates, then I'll go back and edit it. Last video I had trouble trying to figure out what block to target, and I have figured out it now. What I call negative most. So as you can see, I am pointing negative Z that direction and negative X in that direction, and you can see those purple red line and the green line making a point there. So the lowest part on which you want to detect, or not detect, I'm sorry, to yeah, it is detect, I'm sorry, will sit right in there. So that is going to be our negative most block that direction. So since I have this up, I need to go positive 1x in that direction, and then negative z in that direction, which will bring us to our first coordinate. So let's get this off. Instead of blue here, so it was positive 1x, negative 1z, and then we need to target the opposite corner, which is from here. It's going to be over there, which is going to be 1, 2, and that positive x, since we already know it's a positive direction in that way. And then the green one actually is going to kind of mimic the first coordinate. So we'll put 1 here, but it's going to be where the negative most spot we're going to detect is at, and I'll show you here in a minute, which is going to be 2 above that. And then again, negative 1z. We got that, and we did do repeat and always active. We'll go ahead and get our comparator, because comparators can pull power from a command block as well as container blocks like chests and hoppers. Let's test this out. So here's your negative most x in this area that we want to detect, and so that's what the third coordinate was for. So right there, and then if we did it right, it should have an output, and we did, thank goodness. And then on this one, we're going to do one spot. So in this execute command, we are going to do block instead of blocks. Oops, sorry. If block, and then this one's only going to have 1 set of 3, and then it's got to be sand, because that is the piece we're dealing with. Now you can push space and the command can keep going, but we're going to stop right there. And since it's directly below it's directly below where the sand needs to go, is going to be 2. So 1, 2. Now remember, when you do an execute command, it is coming from the block that's executing it from. That's what your relative coordinates are, which is these tildes. So it's saying the second block away from the command block that is activating this execute. So 1, 2. Hope that's not too confusing. We'll go ahead and put repeat, always active, and there you go. That one is simple and done. We'll put a comparator on it so we can see if it will work. And there we go, we got our output. That brings us to hooking it up to the door, which is going to be our escape. I don't know why I did that. So I need that, and we'll go ahead and use this block. I need to invert the signal on this, and the reason being is that if one is not complete, it'll turn this on, therefore not allowing you to go through the door. So they both have to be completed. So we'll just wire this, wire this right up. And there you go, the door is open. I like to have it in an open state to kind of start off with so that I know, okay, this is my complete state. And then I would recommend you testing it out just to be sure. If you want, do all the blocks, but I don't think it's necessary as long as it works that way. Alright, next is to create your reset, and we will go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and delete those. Now, this is going to be a clone command. It's going to run your reset, but there's a few things that we got to do first. I'm going to go ahead and put a command block here. You don't have to use a command block. You can actually do it in your chat window. The reason why I do it is because later I'm going to copy this and place it behind our reset. All right, so your negative most coordinate or block in which you need to detect, you need to find that first, which is this one. And the reason why it's this one is because this piece of sand right here, the lowest point that it can go is right here, which matches up with this corner, and the highest that it can go is up above it, and the furthest it can go from that corner is this corner. So that is going to be your opposite. So since that we know that this is your first coordinate, that's going to be your second one, and then we got to find out where we want to paste it. Now, a good cool little trick that I found out is that you type in clone, and this is new, this is pretty cool. The block that you're looking at is you push tab, space, tab, space, tab. There you go, you got your first coordinate for that block. Hold shift, left arrow, and then control C, and there you go, you've copied it. You don't have to remember it. We'll go to the next one. Remember, look at it, push clone. Now this time we're going to do control V, which will paste it, and then we'll do our tab, space, tab trick, and then hold shift, left arrow, and close out of that after you've copied it, destroy that. And then the place we were going to want to put it, it's going to be in this direction here. This is where the negative most point is going to go. So that's the negative most. This will be the negative most, and it's going to build outward from there. The reason why I put it on this side, because if you put it on that side, you have to count for this structure as well. And you're going to have to count out that way. Alright, so again, point at it, type in clone, control V, and then tab, space, tab again. I think we've got it down now, so we'll hold shift, left arrow, and then control C is copy. So there we have that command, and then we're going to place it in this command block here, /clone, control paste. And now here we go, we got little options here, a few options here. We're going to do place, replace, and then normal. And we don't want to do move because it'll just cut it and paste it. We don't want to move the whole structure and then paste it somewhere. We want to actually copy it. So we want to do normal, and then push enter, and then a little button here. If you're flying or hovering, push crouch and jump at the same time. And there you go, quick tips with Neanderthal. You get your button to go on there instead of opening the command. See, we have done it. Now, the next step is what we're going to do is this is going to be the actual reset. The reset is going to base what is over here, and it's going to copy that and paste it here. So this is your clean slate. This is how your puzzle is going to ultimately be set up every time somebody wants to do this puzzle. So again, we're going to target this block and then the highest point in which the sand can go. So we'll do our little clone trick. Clone. Okay. Then a piece here. Just remember, it is the block you are looking at. Control paste. Copy. Be sure to delete that block so that it's not copied over. And then here is our one that we want to do. Paste. And there we go. Now we have finished that. copy it, place it in our command block here, and I am going to delete the old coordinates here and then paste in there, and so it's replaced normal like before. Now, like I said, we'd like to keep it in there, so then if you hold control, middle mouse button click, there you go, you have copied all that data inside there, and then now you don't have to retype everything, which is fantastic. We'll go ahead and place that there. Alright, before we push the reset, we're going to set up our sand pieces, and then also keep in mind where your green wool area is, which would probably be best to go ahead and mark them so that you know not to get confused to where your sand pieces go. So I'll put one here, those there, and then keep in mind too is that if you have a sand piece near the wall, they're not going to be able to retrieve it, and we'll go ahead and do that. Show you how it works. Look at that right there, and see, can't retrieve it, but we can fix that. And what's cool about this clean slate, as I call it, you can actually edit your blocks. So I want that there, and then I need to push this away from the wall. There we go, and then it'll actually copy over your changes, which is really cool. There we are. Go ahead and clear this guy out, and we'll complete the puzzle just like that. The last two, like that. It opened it because we tested it, and there you go, guys. That's how you do your block detection. You can hook it up to any kind of door or whatever you need it to be running. You know what I mean? Oh, that's cool, an egg. Alright guys, this is going to be our next video. We're going to learn how to make a sliding door. It's going to go over a little bit of animations. It's going to be pretty cool, so I hope you guys don't miss it. As my wife always says, hooty hooty chicken booty, and I will see you in the next one.